What's up guys, welcome back for the final Vingolf deck profile I have. This is going to be on the last Wind Ruler, which is Minamoto. Minamoto recovers up to 2 rested resonators when it enters the field, so I really wanted to kind of play a swarmy kind of deck with it while still focusing a lot on green because you don't really see heavy hitters on green. So let's see what I put together. For the Magic Stones, I decided to run a Featsing the Holy Windstone and a Gru Ballesta. The colors of this deck are green, red, and black, and I really wanted to make sure I had access to something like Thunder or Flames because I wanted to be able to remove threats off the field so that my attacks can get in when I do recover those resonators. 4 Magic Stone of Black Silence, and 4 Magic Stone of Blasting Waves. For the resonators, I still wanted to have a ramp engine, so I am running 4 Elvish Priest. I thought because the heavy hitters I have are kind of a higher cost, I wanted to make sure I can get to them fast enough without getting overwhelmed. 4 Familiar of Holy Wind because it lets me draw and it's slight removal, and removal is really important like I mentioned earlier. 4 Grettles for more ramp. 4 Kangaskhan. This actually combos with another card in the deck too, but it is just mainly to swarm, but I'll get into why it's really important later. 4 Featsing prevents damage and lets me ramp more, it lets me get any colors, so if I don't have any dark for flame, I can just produce it. 3 Guardia. This is a card we haven't seen in this format because Susanoo's been so big, but I'm not so worried about it anymore because I'm tired of specifically trying to build for the meta. I figured I'll just side deck for the meta, but you know, my main deck will just stay the same. Why this card is so important is because when it rests, you can give something 400 attack. It activate rests to give something 400 attack, and then you could just recover it. So if you did, let's say if you summon it, and it survived the turn and now it's your turn again, you can rest and it's 1200, untap, and then let's say rest gives something else 400, attack with that, and then J-activate, recover both of them, and now attack with both. So it's actually a really great card, especially at, like the 8/8 on the 3 body is already really relevant. It's a really big body, so to be able to pump and then recover with the ruler is actually great. 2 Djinns. This card is also almost never seen played, but I actually really like it in this deck. In a situation where, let's say, you were attacked the turn before and you drop the Featsing to prevent the damage, and you have, let's say, like an Elvish Priest and a Kangaskhan, you can then play this card on your turn after, let's say, attacking with the Featsing or something if it's safe. You would recover the Kangaskhan, the Featsing, and the Elvish Priest at the end of turn after using them to swarm, and then you would now have all of them open for next turn to be able to use your counter spells. So you're still being really aggressive and not having to hold that mana and then resetting your mana and having it open, because now Elvish Priest and Featsing is a Cake Zone, for example, or Zeke's. Kangaskhan on enter, which it works because it's the new enter, will reset and give you another stone, so that's a second stone you get. So being able to reset your mana and use your counter spells, stopping what they do on your turn, and now you have, let's say, like a Featsing against Kangaskhan in this, let alone anything else, you can start attacking and aiming to J-activate so that you can attack even more. And then 2 Mephistopheles because this also works really good with Guardia. If you just pump him twice, technically to 2300, and once again you would do that by using Minamoto, you would pump it once to 1900, attack directly, and then recover both of them, pump it again, and then attack for 23, and that's 4200 damage, and that's game. So if they can't stop this, that's actually just an OTK right away. For the spells, I have 4 Thunders. Slight removal is important, like I said. You don't want any chump blockers stopping something like the Djinn because he doesn't have flying like Mephistopheles. 3 Flame of the Outer World. This is also just great because it takes out most rulers nowadays, or if you double up on it with Thunder and other Flames, you can take out most rulers. Plus it gets rid of stuff like Featsing and other high defense monsters. 3 Zeeks just to counter. Like I said, this is really easy to use because you can reset your stones really easily or reset the floating mana really easily. And 3 Cake Zone. For the side deck, I decided to run 3 Glinda. I actually wanted to main deck this because I like the unblockable aspect it gives, since we are trying to go for game really fast and trying to beat them down, but I couldn't really find the room for it and didn't want to invest in too many 2-drops because I already had Kangaskhan and I already had Grettles. So I was like, you know, I'll just side it and see how it goes. 2 Shahrazad, because you ramp, it's really easy to get this on the field. You can stall and try to get more bodies on the field, plus it's 1000 itself. So if you were to attack, recover, attack, it's actually decent damage too. And it has slight removal with the second effect, so it's not so bad. 4 Susanoo, like I said, I'm going to keep siding for the meta, but I don't want to like main deck anything particularly, so I just decided to still side 4 of these for Bahamut. 4 Leviathan, I also wanted to main deck this, especially because I could discard it for a fire, let's say if I had a dark and I wanted to flame, but I couldn't really find the room for it, and I didn't think it was too crucial to attack with Minamoto because its recover effect is already so good that trying to attack with it itself would kind of be overkill in most situations, and I didn't want to invest too much into comboing so that my hands don't get like too dead. And then 2 Stoning to Death just for more removal. I was going to put Carmilla's, but I didn't want to have too many 4-drops, so I just decided to go 2 Stonings instead. So thanks for watching, guys. That was of course Minamoto's deck profile, which was the final Vingolf ruler. I have 3 MPR rulers coming this week, and I'd really like it if you guys would leave a comment either on Facebook or here saying which one you guys would want to see next, because I can only do 3 out of the 5 this week. So we have Grimia, Kaguya, Shahrazard, Naya, and Kane. So just pick 3 out of those 5, whichever ones I get the highest votes for, I'll do this week, and then the last 2 will go on to Monday and Tuesday. And if you guys have any other questions or suggestions, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do so all those videos come straight to you, and I will catch you guys next time.